Acolytes. Here, Johnny Somali is finally getting to jail from Rev. Now, I specifically do the Rev thing because I'm interested in what he has to say about it. I think I know, but hey, let's just see. Why not a legal mindset thing? Because, well, simple as that. As I said, Rev, what he has to say about it is more important, and legal mindset seems not to relish the downfall from Johnny as much as I would hope. So maybe I'm just a bit of a evil person that way. But hey, let's just start.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rip here. So today we have some updates regarding nuisance streamer Johnny Somali.
Yeah.
Now, we all know this guy is in deep trouble, but it's never been worse than this. Johnny Somali is now facing a 5th criminal charge, and this one is a very serious one where he faces a mandatory prison sentence if found guilty by a prosecution that has a 98% conviction rate, by the way. And if he's found guilty, not only will he serve time in prison, he will also be officially labeled as a S offender. Now, S being a 3-letter word that YouTube doesn't like, but he'll be officially labeled as that if he is found guilty of this crime that he's charged with. So, it's been a very busy week for Johnny Somali, okay? He got jumped once again out in public. He was trolling around the streets of South Korea, where an individual came up, punched him in the face, and then called him the N-word repeatedly. Now, of course, I can't play any of that clip because of the violence and the N-word being repeated, but you get the point. I mean, this is just...
Acolytes, honestly, does anybody actually feel bad for this guy? I don't support violence. There are exceptions, though.
Like, casual business for Johnny Somali at this point, getting jumped in public. It's not too surprising. But around that time, he has some very weird clips going around where there's a sort of documentary some of his Glazers are making about him, where they're trying to paint him not as some disgusting nuisance streamer, but rather some internet superstar who's really famous and likable. And they're talking about his, well, many criminal charges he's facing, including the 3 he's pled guilty to already. And he basically thinks he's going to be out of here in a month. He's going to be out of South Korea in just 1 month. Let's listen to the absolute coping here.
It sounds like within a month, though, you could be out of here.
It is a possibility. It is a possibility.
I mean, like, if everything goes well with the thing, then it should just kind of be resolved, and you should be able to... You've got your passport still, so you should...
right here.
Yeah, you should be able to just kind of dip then.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I'll limit it.
Okay, so Cowboy Somali here holds up his passport like that means anything. Like, listen, dude, that's not going to save you, and your antics in South Korea has made no U.S. official have any inclination towards helping you. So you're on your own here. That passport means absolutely nothing. But
and it shouldn't. The thing is, there are people who actually defend him. And those people should get shafted. Why? Because having a nuisance like that all the time near you is effing annoying. If you have any kind of compassion to the people around you, you want Johnny Somali to be punished for his behavior. Because I will bet you one thing. If they had a Johnny Somali in their life constantly, they wouldn't be as supportive of him. I would even say they would drop the support extremely quickly.
As you heard, he thinks, and these weirdos making this documentary think as well, that he's going to be out in 1 month. Well, unfortunately for Johnny Somali, that's definitely not going to be the case, as pointed out by Legal Mindset, an attorney and YouTuber who's been covering this extensively. He reports here, 5th charge officially merged into case of Ramzi Khalid Ismail, Johnny Somali, in South Korea. This charge carries mandatory prison time with no option of fine. Ramzi is officially headed behind bars unless he can somehow win against a prosecutor's with a 98% win rate. And that's very similar to Japan, by the way. They have a 98 or a 99% conviction rate. Unfortunately, they're very lenient, and the crimes he was charged with didn't carry as heavy of a sentence as what he's facing in Korea. But this all goes back to this video right here. We actually reacted to this maybe like a month or so ago, where he reports in this video, Johnny Somali says, this is the product of being investigated by National Intelligence Service members, where his comments about North Korea got him basically in some hot water with national security forces. But he flashes this document, not understanding what it means, and he uses like racial slurs to describe the language it's in. But people translated these documents that he flashed onto the screen because he shares every aspect of his life. So people were able to translate what was on here.
Fair enough.
Now, we don't really know about the national security stuff, if that's real or not. But what we do know is that these documents have to do with charges, the 5th charge relating to deepfakes. Now, you might remember at some point we also talked about this, where Johnny Somali was posting videos of deepfakes containing him and another Korean streamer named Bong Bong, where he was making out with her as a result of these deepfakes. Now, of course, let's make this clear in the context of what we're talking about and based on what Legal Mindset will claim or has claimed about South Korean law and just really how they view this stuff. This is sexual content. It's made to not only create something that is sexual, but also to embarrass the target of the deepfake. And that is a very important thing and a very damning thing for Johnny Somali. So here is Legal Mindset's really quick summation of what's going on here. I'll put a link to this video in the description, but let's listen to the severity of what he's facing with this 5th charge.
You can see here, it's got the name in a charge. And you can see here on the bottom, violation of the special act on the punishment of sexual violence crimes. So this falls under a sex crime. So it will no longer, after Ramsey is guilty of this, whether he is proved guilty by the court or whether he is, whether he pleads guilty, you can safely say, without it being defamatory at all in any country, that he is a sex criminal, because this falls under the variant of their laws that regulate sex crimes.
Hell yeah, you can. Hell yeah. Good, by the way, good. And I really hope that we can just stomp out this pest, and in the future, we go way more aggressive against pests like him.
Amazing work. So if he is found guilty, and I mean, he broadcasted all of his crimes live for everyone to see, so I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. If he's found guilty, he is officially a S offender. Under Korean law, and just speaking generally, you can say that about him without it being false. That is an amazing development. And also, I want to point this out. I don't have screenshots of this because it's like ancient history, but when Johnny Somali actually had a Twitter account and he was still in Japan, one of his final tweets he made was calling people in Japan and abroad predators over anime and other fictional content. So now he's going to be possibly labeled as a S offender in real life. Many such cases of projection, by the way. We'll add them to the giant archive of people who ended up in a situation like him after slandering people over fictional content. But, of course, you really don't have to talk about fictional content. This clip is one of many where he is being an absolute nuisance towards actual minors. He hates this clip, by the way. He absolutely hates this clip, where he is talking to what he knows is a minor and still makes sexual comments and sexual gestures to this individual.
Why do you call me?
I'm a minor.
No, you're too young. Anyway, you're too old. You're too old. Anyway.
Yeah. What?
I'm a minor. I'm a minor too.
Yeah, I think we've seen enough. Very creepy behavior, and again...
Oh! the poor kid. Oh. Forever. Oh, fuck.
Projection with all the fictional content that he judges people over. But on top of that, while we're still on the subject, recently Ice Poseidon and his crew have arrived in South Korea. Johnny Somali apparently has beef with them. He tried to basically set them up by saying he's a part of their CX organization when he's really not. But he was confronted by Ice Poseidon, and he had all of this to say about Ice Poseidon and his crew.
Japan didn't like Hick. You're the one who went the most viral. You went the most viral.
So going the most viral, doing the worst shit doesn't matter.
Going the most viral matters, yeah.
Kissing minors, fucking with bitches while they're unconscious. Come on, your whole crew, like, they're not innocent, bro. And Sus is my boy too, but they know all the fucked up shit too.
I mean, don't.
Like, be honest. Like,
I mean,
let's be real.
some of the people have done bad
Sus
things,
is literally sexually assaulting somebody on stream.
but you have personally caused problems for other streamers trying to stream in these countries.
Yeah, you know the meme, two R words fighting? That's pretty much Ice Poseidon and John.
Yeah, when two roaches fight with each other. Yeah, that's. You know, it's nothing special, but I mean. Ice Poseidon is as hypocritical again, going against Johnny Somali as anybody else would be that actually does the exact same things. Or not the exact same things, but it's on the basically same level. But hey.
Johnny Somali here bickering, basically trying to have a dick measuring contest about who's the most ridiculous and awful person and the biggest nuisance streamer. But yeah, you can see, again, lots of projection. But let's return to the legal mindset video here, if it actually loads. There we go. Okay, and we'll hear about the penalties Johnny Somali is specifically facing for streaming these deepfakes, and it's very serious.
But the thing is, that's not where that statute stops. And the problem for Johnny is he goes even further. So a person who distributes, this is the key, distributes an edited work, composite work, or copy pursuant to paragraph 1, or a person who distributes a copy against the will of the subject, so without their permission, non-consensually, right, shall be subject to a punishment of not more than 5 years or a fine exceeding 50 million won.
So that's really bad. Okay, that seems pretty clear-cut. He posted this against the will of that Korean streamer, and with that, he would face imprisonment for not more than 5 years or a 50 million won fine. Very serious stuff. But somehow, it gets much worse for Johnny Somali.
But that's not where he's screwed. Where he's screwed is he's hit under Section 3. A person who commits the crime, so deepfake, by using an information and communication network. Literally.
Rip Bozo.
Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Somali is receiving an aggravated sentence because he streamed it. Let me say that one more time. Johnny Somali is getting an aggravated sentence because he streamed it and because he put it on Discord. Because he had to do it for the content, right?
Amazing. So because of Johnny Somali's obsession with getting attention online, he now has an aggravated charge here where he could face a mandatory prison sentence. Because as pointed out here, there is no option for a fine with this aggravated charge. There is no ability for the judge. They don't have the ability to give him a fine instead of a prison sentence. It's only a prison sentence. And Johnny Somali in this aspect is absolutely cooked. Not to mention the fact he's already a convicted criminal in South Korea because he pled guilty to 3 previous charges. And we're not even talking about the 4th charge that he's also facing that he still has to go to trial for. This whole thing is an absolute mess. And there's some other funny things to point out here as Legal Mindset shares. The guy Hank, you know, the Korean guy who's always by his side, turns out he's likely his sugar daddy. He's basically keeping Johnny Somali afloat here. And let me make this clear, because Johnny Somali constantly shames people for covering him and accuses them of being clout chasers and desperate for money and all these things. Johnny Somali makes nothing out of this. He makes no money. He is desperate. He basically goes live for a few bucks, and most of that money donated to him is encouraging him to make a fool out of himself. He is struggling. He's not making anything out of this other than clout and attention. That's really his most valuable currency. But as it turns out, even Hank, his sugar daddy, is running out of money. He can't even fund Johnny Somali anymore, is now asking people to donate and to help out with the legal costs Johnny Somali is facing.
Good. Let them financially ruin themselves. That's fine. It's okay. Just let them fall. And for those people who are actually gonna, well, give them money, that's their decision. But I didn't see a lot of worse ideas to actually spend your money on. So, yeah.
And to make matters worse, let's go back to that documentary and let's hear what Johnny Somali is all about. Also, let's not overlook these glazers acting like Johnny Somali is some like internet hero.
I punched you, right? That was one situation.
He slapped me, but same.
Yeah, he
I
hit
was dancing in the street to a TTS donation. Some guy comes up and these guys, they go back, my fans go back to the clips. The stalker in Japan has been following me for 3 hours, all through our arcade, like in the background, watching, waiting for the right moment when my friend Gino's with me.
Keep in mind, by the way, one of the most recent things he's done is literally stalk other streamers while they're in Korea.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Gino's like distracted.
Yeah.
And he comes and smacks me, just runs away. And at the end of the day, that clip got like 20 million views on Japanese Twitter. You know what I think when that happens? I don't think like, oh, I got slapped, oh, I'm sad. I'm like, we went viral. I'm like, that's a good, IRL streamer, like, that's a good clip.
You see the most important currency to Johnny Somali. It's not money. It's nothing like that. It's attention. What he took away from that situation is how much attention he got. He went viral with a clip where he got smacked in public for being a nuisance streamer. This is all very telling stuff. Johnny Somali quite literally reaping what he has sown. He's effing around and finally finding out, because this charge that a lot of people have been waiting on, by the way, is very serious, and he is not going to wiggle his way out of this. He can flash.
The thing is, until he finds out, he didn't find out. After the point he finds out, after that, everybody will be happy. Except for him, probably. But if he goes to jail, that will actually, probably, I hope so, motivate people to get rid of nuisances like him way more aggressive and way quicker.
His passport all he wants. He can go viral all he wants. But he's in big trouble in Korea. And I don't think he's going to be leaving for a very long time. But for now, that's going to do it for this video.
Yeah. This disaster. I will be so happy as soon as the judgment actually falls. This will be, beautiful. Beautiful. I really hope he gets maximum shafted with this entire thing, because come on, like, honestly, what the fuck? Honestly, what the fuck? But as it is, good night.